Come on!
Hi everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Corner, and this is your host Spider Slayer. Today we're doing a comic book review on, that's right folks, it's out, The Walking Dead, issue number 94, A Larger World, part 2. That's right guys, it's finally here. It's been literally I think like 5 weeks since an issue has come out. And speaking of this issue, I really like the cover of this issue. You can see basically you can see the entire hilltop or hillside, and you see the city or towns behind it, and you see this extension of just the atmosphere, and it's a nice look. It's a different type of cover. It's pretty cool when you see the little grassy fields and stuff like that. So, obviously, this book is done by Robert Kirkman, and our images are done by Mr. Adlard. Okay, basically in this last issue, Rick is he's having some trust issues with Jesus. Guy is long-haired and he kicks some serious ass. So basically what happened is Rick tied him up, and he was going crazy last issue trying to find his backup or the people that he brought with him to take over their little land that they have and things like that. And this guy Jesus has been telling them, like, you know, do you guys think you're the only ones out here? Like, come on, seriously, there's other communities. And basically what he has done is he has given them like a network, an offer, a network of, you know, people for trading and things like that, and exporting and all that other stuff. And Rick is still having, you know, his doubts about him, but in the last issue, towards the end, we see that he's like, you know what, I think maybe we should take this into consideration, and there is a much larger world out there than in the one that we're so isolated in. So that's basically what happens in the last issue. And in this issue here, we see in the beginning that we see a little bit more of Carl. We haven't seen too much of Carl in this issue, and he's basically getting his eye taken care of because we all know that it's gotten shot out. And he's going to Dr. Cloyd, and he's basically asking, who's that lady or who's that man in the back room? And she's like, oh, we're just keeping him safe. And you know what? Carl ain't no naive little boy. The boy seems some shit. He's been through some crap, and he basically said, yeah, you're right, you're holding him prisoner. And the next thing we see is that he goes to Mr. Jesus, and Jesus is like, come on in. You know, and you're like, uh-oh, what's this guy going to do to Carl? The guy's tied up the whole time. In the meantime, we see that our group, Rick and everybody, is just coming back, and they're saying, you know what, we're going to get Mr. Jesus, and we're going to, you know, gather everyone together, and we're going to have him take a road trip to this little hilltop or this hillside that you call, you know, your place. And that's what's going on. And as Rick goes to get Jesus, he kind of freaks out a little bit here. And he sits there and he's like, holy crap, Carl, what the hell are you doing with this guy? And Carl basically tells his father, you know what, this guy, I think he's a good guy. I got good feelings about him. And he's like, Rick, you shouldn't be in here. You know, you need to go away. And Jesus and Rick have a conversation about what we're going to do. We're going to go to this hillside or hilltop or whatever you want to call it. And he goes, and if your people try to take us over or something happens, he's like, I'm going to shoot you on the spot. Is that a deal? And Jesus is like, well, what choice do I have? So as you can see, this guy, he just like, I don't know, he seems too good to be true, but everything that you've thrown at him, it's like a test, and he's stepped up to bat, and he's hit home runs every single time. So why why not trust the guy, Later on in the issue, Aaron comes up to Rick, and we see a conversation that they have, and he goes, you have a tough time, trusting people. And Rick's like, well, I understand that. He goes, I'm just trying to keep people safe. And Aaron's like, well, you were the same thing with me, but it was legit. It was a legit thing. And he goes, I feel that Jesus is legit too. And you know what? And he's right. It's just like, but if I was Rick, I would always be reserved myself, because there is a reason why these people have stayed alive this whole entire time. It's not for taking things for granted, So, and there's some decisions that Rick has made that are good, and there's other decisions that Rick has made have been poor. So, with that being said, there's so many people going together, and Abraham's staying behind, and Carl is supposed to stay behind, and Rick wants Andrea to stay behind, and they get into this argument, and I don't know, I don't think Rick looks at Andrea the same ever since she had feelings, and he was like pushing Andrea away, going, you know what, you stay back, you watch the place, I don't want you getting hurt. And she's like, Rick, bullshit, I want to come with you, don't give me this, we're survivors, and blah, blah, blah. So as the issue goes along, we can see that for the night they're going to stop at, probably official sponsor here, guys, Texaco Station. And they plan on staying the night here. And basically what happens in this part is that as Rick wakes up Jesus, we see that Carl has come for a ride. And he's like, God damn it, Carl, what the hell, And right away he sticks the gun right in Jesus' face. And, we come to this conclusion that Carl wanted to go. He just wanted to see what the new place was like. He didn't mean to cause any problems. But as this little conversation is coming across, we come across a little zombie attack that happens in the book here. And we can see that they're attacking. And Jesus is tied up the whole time, and he's kicking the zombies with his feet while tied up. I mean, this guy's got some skills, man. Serious skills. And the zombies are coming, and they're just attacking him. Michonne sticks the sword through one's face, and you got a little nice action sequence in this part. And once the zombie attack is done, they get back in the truck. They start driving, and what happens now is that Jesus is like, dude, I gotta use the little boy's room. And what happens is that Jesus sits there and he escapes on his own. I'm sorry, he doesn't escape. Rick sits there and says, you know what, I'll pull down your pants, but the rest is on your own. And the whole time, Jesus could have been untied the whole time. He could have untied himself anytime he wanted. But basically what Jesus was doing was he was actually testing Rick. And he was testing him to see how he would handle the situation, and he would be able to trust, how he raises his boy and stuff like that if he wasn't the way that he is. And basically Rick is just sitting there saying, you know what, thank you. And now Jesus is saying, now you have to trust me, because we are here. We are here. Welcome to the hilltop. And you can see right in the background, all right here, that's the whole other city that I guess has been going on for a long time. And the next issue, I hope we get to see what the hilltop looks like, but it looks like a pretty big community going on. So, with that being said, what's in store for the group? Is Jesus going to betray him? Are they going to get in a big fight? I don't know. My personal opinion is, I think we can trust this guy. What do we got to lose? Now, the people within his group might be a different story. We might not be able to trust the people that are in there. And some crazy crap's going to happen, because we're going to get to issue 100 on this thing, and I have a feeling that something big is going to happen. Walking Dead is always a great story for me. It's not about the zombies. It's not always about the action. It's about the whole story and how it comes together. And I like it even more now how I can compare it to the TV show to the comic book. But I enjoy it tremendously. I'm anxiously awaiting to see what happens with the group and Jesus, and what his whole story is, what his background is about. So you guys down below, write some comments. Tell me what you think Jesus has in store for Rick and the group. And just to let you guys know, coming out in March, sometime this month, later on in March, is The Walking Dead, and it's the cutting room floor. And it looks like it's a trade. It's kind of like a trade, but it's hardcover, and it's only $20, and it's 115 pages, and it discusses the behind-the-scenes look at Robert Kirkman's obviously The Walking Dead and like original plot lines and stuff like that. So I just wanted to point that out to you. But yeah, that's it. Issue number 94 of The Walking Dead, A Larger World. Tell me what you guys think. Subscribe to Comic Book Corner today. And this will be the last review I do for at least, I don't know, at least 10 to 12 days. Maybe a couple days after that. Like I said, I am going on vacation. And once I come back, I will get right back on YouTube and get back on track with things. So, but I will be on vacation with my family. So, if you guys notice I haven't done videos in a while, well, that's where I'm at. So, until the next comic review, this is Spider Slayer signing off, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.